What am I supposed to?
I want you to be honest with yourself and stop fucking around.
I'm not fucking around.
Ready to get real.
If you've ever heard a British man scream this at a weeping line cook in a moldy strip mall bistro, congrats. You lived through the kitchen nightmares era.
And look at that for a stinking attitude. Look at that. A disgusting attitude. Ask him to put his house in the fucking mix.
There was a time, not that long ago, when Gordon Ramsay was America's favorite exorcist. Not of demons, but of rancid seafood and emotional dysfunction. He would enter a failing restaurant, sniff the air like a bloodhound, gag, scream, "Disgusting," and then proceed to verbally decimate everyone in a 15-foot radius. And we loved it. Between 2007 and 2012, Kitchen Nightmares US was the Super Bowl of food-based humiliation. Every Friday night, millions of viewers tuned in to watch Gordon turn health code violations into high-stakes drama. He wasn't fixing restaurants. He was conducting televised autopsies with a steak knife and a furrowed brow. The formula was addictive. Failing restaurant, delusional owners, emotional breakdown, inspirational voiceover, and a mandatory walk-in fridge full of things that should be reported to the CDC.
It's by the door.
No, we just had the exterminator.
You paid for the exterminator?
Sure.
Get your money back.
It was chaotic, it was brutal, it was perfect. But of course, nothing gold can stay. Because at some point, the screaming stopped being cathartic and started feeling predictable, overproduced, empty. So how did a show about saving restaurants end up leaving such a bad taste? Let's rewind. Before Gordon Ramsay was the human embodiment of a caps lock button. He was just a chef with too many Michelin stars and not enough patience. Kitchen Nightmares began in the UK in 2004, and it was surprisingly wholesome. The British version was more documentary than drama. Gordon would walk into a crumbling gastropub, raise a single disappointed eyebrow, and quietly fix things with actual culinary advice. There were no dramatic music stings, no camera zooms, no one sobbed into a freezer full of expired scallops. It was calm, it was civil, it was British. Then Fox got involved. In 2007, Kitchen Nightmares crossed the Atlantic and promptly snorted a line of pure American reality TV cocaine.
Follow me. Sir, come through. Madam, come through.
The format was the same on paper. Gordon visits failing restaurants, tells the owners hard truths, helps them recover. But the execution? Full WWE mode. Suddenly, every episode was a battlefield. Ramsay didn't just give feedback, he launched thermonuclear insults. He didn't advise, he obliterated. And the audience ate it up. Fox amped up the formula with horror movie music, constant bleeped profanity, and slow motion shots of Gordon dramatically spitting out undercooked chicken like it had personally insulted his mother. By 2010, the show was raking in $37.3 million in ad revenue per year and was the most watched Friday night program on Fox. It was a full-blown cultural phenomenon. Ramsay wasn't just a chef, he was a household brand, a walking meme machine. This food is so raw, I can hear it mooing. I've seen more coordination in a one-legged octopus. At its peak, Kitchen Nightmares US had everything. Viral meltdowns, emotional arcs, fake redemption, and at least one person per episode crying in the parking lot while Gordon smoked a victory cigarette out back.
Can you tell the rest of the people we're not serving any more food?
She has no interest in continuing to cook.
Shut the restaurant then.
We gotta get the rest.
It was part cooking show, part gladiator arena, part psychological experiment. And in a country obsessed with second chances and televised trauma, it worked. At first, the chaos felt authentic. The tears, the shouting, the "your fridge smells like a corpse" moments, it was raw. It was real, until it wasn't. Because somewhere around season 3, things started to feel off. Like, why is every single restaurant hiding the exact same rotting fish under a panini press? Kind of off. People started asking questions. Reddit threads popped up with titles like, "Is Kitchen Nightmares just Hell's Kitchen in a wig?" And "Why is Gordon always finding one moldy lemon and a rat?" Valid concerns, really. And then came the lawsuits. The first real fallout came with Martin Hyde. Let's rewind to season 1, a quaint little New York restaurant called Dylan's. Ramsay walks in, finds a disaster, and proceeds to rip the manager, Martin Hyde, a new one.
This wasn't always like this. It spiraled out of control, and
on national television. Only problem? Hyde claimed it was all fake. Not reality TV fake, actual fake. Like, producers allegedly asked him to lie down and pretend he was taking a nap so Gordon could call him lazy. They allegedly brought in extras to pose as customers. They even told Hyde to not fix things so it would look worse for the show. Hyde sued for £500,000. He didn't win, but the message landed. Maybe Kitchen Nightmares wasn't a documentary. Maybe it was just performance art with slightly more screaming. This whole show is fake, Hyde said. I wish people could see the raw footage. But of course they never would, because drama sells. And fake drama, that's a gold mine.
Working and you couldn't watch him.
Oh, come on.
I know.
Get me Tatiana, please. Please, darling.
Is it not cooked?
But then came something darker, the tragedy of Joseph Cerniglia. In 2010, Joseph Cerniglia, owner of Campania, a restaurant featured in season 1, died by suicide. His body was found in the Hudson River 3 years after Gordon told him on air, "Your business is about to go under faster than the Titanic." Was Gordon responsible? No, but it opened a grim conversation about reality TV, mental health, and whether a few million views were worth someone's peace of mind. Psychologists warned that public humiliation, especially when edited for maximum impact, can have real consequences. Cerniglia's family insisted the show had helped him. Gordon, too, said he was kind off camera. But the damage was done. A line had been crossed, even if unintentionally. Now the public started asking, is this helping people, or just publicly executing them in HD?
Oh my God, we just made the most god-awful face.
Holy mackerel. Like lumps of glue. What a embarrassment.
Next came one of the wildest clashes of the series, Oceana Grill versus Gordon the Gag Reflex Ramsay. In 2011, a New Orleans restaurant called Oceana Grill gets the Ramsay treatment. Gordon enters, gags dramatically, finds rotting seafood, dead mice, and maybe the gates of hell beneath the fryer. Viewers were horrified. Ramsay literally vomited in the kitchen. Oceana's owners, however, were confused because they claimed the entire thing was staged, that the food wasn't rotten, that the mice weren't real, that Ramsay was basically starring in his own horror movie and the restaurant was just an unwilling set. They sued. The case dragged on for years. And just when you thought it was over, boom. In 2018, a clip of that episode went viral on Facebook. 1.5 million views in 24 hours. Oceana Grill sued again, claiming breach of contract and reputational damage. It's not often you hear the phrase, court order over fake rats, but here we are. Then came the episode. You already know which one. The unholy grail of kitchen nightmares, Amy's Baking Company. Season 6, final episode.
You have the right to run the business the way you want to run your business. I have the right to do the right thing.
The moment Kitchen Nightmares became self-aware and then imploded, Amy and Sammy Bouzaglo weren't just difficult, they were a black hole of delusion. Ramsay tried everything, talking, shouting, emotionally resonant monologues, but nothing worked. He walked out. For the first and only time, he quit. And then, oh boy, the couple went nuclear online. Facebook tirades in all caps, calling customers losers, haters, trash, threatening legal action, posting memes of Gordon with devil horns, accusing Reddit of conspiracy. It was the most public brand meltdown the internet had ever seen. The Washington Post literally called it a social media apocalypse. PR firms used it as a what not to do case study. The internet feasted on the carnage. But here's the kicker. It worked. The episode went viral. Ratings soared. Fox milked it with a special follow-up episode. Amy's Baking Company became the Tiger King of restaurant meltdowns.
1 second, she's like a nice little Care Bear.
Thank you so much. I love you. You're such a good girl.
And the next second, she's like Cruella de Vil.
A meme, a punchline, a warning. And Kitchen Nightmares? It crossed the event horizon. What started as a rescue mission now felt like a circus. The restaurants weren't just failing, they were imploding. Publicly. For sport. And somewhere in the middle of it all stood Gordon Ramsay screaming into the void, "It's raw!" By the time Amy's Baking Company burned the internet to the ground, the writing was already on the wall. The formula was predictable. The shock value was fading. And Gordon, he was exhausted. Fox begged for more seasons. But Gordon later admitted he pulled the plug in a moment of pure frustration. I woke up in France after filming with a guy I wouldn't trust to run a bath, let alone a restaurant. I thought, I'm done. 123 episodes, 99 cities, a decade of shouting into walk-in fridges full of liquefied lettuce.
Take me back to the beginning, when you invested in this restaurant, unknown to you. Yeah? How frustrating was that?
And just like that, Kitchen Nightmares was over. Or at least it should have been. After Kitchen Nightmares ended, its legacy became clear. It wasn't remembered as a restaurant rescue show at all. It was a reality TV speedrun, and we all knew the script. By then, everyone could recite the script. Gordon walks in, gags at the fridge, screams, "Disgusting," slaps on some new wallpaper, and voila, redemption in under 42 minutes. It became a pantomime, a ritual. The same redemption arc played out again and again. Different lighting, slightly worse food. The tears were still there, the shouting louder than ever, and the editing sharper than a sushi knife.
I've been hosting, expediting, serving.
Good.
A lot.
So is your father taking orders as well?
No.
But something essential had vanished, the illusion of reality. Even Ramsay's insults, once sharp, improvised lightning bolts of rage, began to feel factory-made, like they were written by a junior copywriter who just discovered Reddit. And while the drama remained, the stakes didn't, because everyone at home knew one thing: the happy endings never lasted. Behind the scenes, the stats told the real story. Despite dramatic turnarounds and Gordon saved my life testimonials, over 79% of the restaurants still failed. By 2025, the success rate hovered around a depressing 21%. That's not recovery. That's a PR illusion taped together with new wallpaper and a 2-week supply of frozen scallops. Fans noticed. Exposés popped up on YouTube. Reddit dug into old health inspection reports. Where are they now? Stopped being curiosity and turned into a grim scavenger hunt. Episodes weren't shared as inspiration anymore, but as memes. Everyone had their favorite meltdown, their go-to vomit scene, their most iconic kitchen gag. In short, the show stopped being about fixing restaurants and started being about filming their collapse in 4K.
What's wrong?
Oh, he's in there screaming like a maniac. I told him to scream at me, quit acting like a kid. I'd jump over there and thump his ass. I don't need him acting like that.
Ironically, what kept Kitchen Nightmares alive long after it went off air wasn't its culinary content. It was the memes, the TikToks, the Scream compilations on YouTube. Gordon Ramsay became a one-man meme generator, his facial expressions more famous than his actual food. The 2023 reboot tried to course correct. Less yelling, more compassion, a touch more realism. And sure, it looked nicer. Ramsay even had full conversations without threatening someone's family tree. But let's be honest, it was never about the food or the fixes. It was about the chaos, the spectacle, the schadenfreude, and you can't reboot authenticity once you've sold it off for ratings. Kitchen Nightmares was never really about food. Not at its core. It was about chaos, catharsis, and the guilty pleasure of watching someone else's dream burn to the ground while a celebrity chef screamed profanities over the ashes.
We're never gonna get out of this.
You've never made money in 2 years.
We did not. We had no clue what we were doing, obviously.
What's it done to the three of you in comparison to what it was like 2 years ago?
And for a while, that worked. The fantasy was simple, that a failing restaurant run by delusional owners and stocked with green meat could be transformed in a week by one man with an iron will and an even ironier vocabulary. That change was possible. That redemption was real. And in rare cases, it was. A few restaurants survived, a few owners grew, a few fridges stayed clean. But for most, the nightmare never really ended. They got their 15 minutes of televised trauma, a coat of fresh paint, and a viral clip of Ramsay saying their risotto tasted like dog food. Then the cameras left, and reality came back. What we were watching wasn't transformation. It was theater, meticulously edited, emotionally manipulated, and designed for maximum drama.
No way. No chance.
The food didn't matter. The people barely mattered. Only the spectacle mattered. And maybe that's fine. Maybe not every show has to be pure or noble. Maybe sometimes we just need something to scream laugh at after a long day. But it does make you wonder, how many restaurants were sacrificed at the altar of entertainment? How many meltdowns were re-edited for maximum shame? And how many rescue shows are really just slow motion train wrecks with better lighting? We wanted redemption stories. We got Gordon Ramsay screaming at a bucket of raw chicken. We wanted kitchen dreams. We got kitchen nightmares. So next time you're binging the Best of Ramsay Loses It compilation on YouTube, maybe pause and ask yourself, who's really being served here and who's being eaten alive? Enjoyed that slow roasted chaos? Smash like it's an overcooked steak. Subscribe for more deep fried autopsies of pop culture. And tell us in the comments, which reality show should Gordon Ramsay scream at next? Or should he finally yell at himself?